Hello, I'm Alfonso Parrado, a free thinker, and today I want to talk about beauty. Should we care about our looks? If so, when does it become an obsession? I have to answer this by deriving from my life. I've met two types of people through my life. The first group is where most people belong, and it's the people that care for their looks. They care for the way that they look, for the physical appearance, for their clothes, everything. And the second group, a much smaller group of people, mainly intellectual people, they say that it's wrong to care for our looks, that we shouldn't, and they call the biggest group, they call them superficial, as if it was an insult of something wrong or bad. I think that group is wrong. I think the last group, it's wrong. I think we should care for our look, and it's a healthy thing. I think, although I realize that those people that call other people superficial, even though I think they are wrong, I think they are just reacting to a social problem, a big social problem that we have, and that's beauty obsession. Not just obsession, but also bullying because of that, discrimination in jobs, in a lot of things because of beauty. So I think it's a big social problem. But I think it's the same way, and it's fair to compare it with racism. I think racism obviously is a big social problem, way bigger than the beauty obsession one. But the way to deal with it, there are ways to fight racism, and one of the ways to not fight racism is to try to make people colorblind to race, to make people unable to see race, which first is a lie. Everyone sees race, it's there, it's a reality, and it's a really bad way to try to fight racism, being colorblind, because then you're not fighting real racism, you're just avoiding to see the differences. But we should be able to see the differences without discriminating. It's the same with men and women. We should be able to see the differences between men and women. We're not the same. We have different physiques, and we have different minds, maybe in some aspects. The thing is that we're not the same between a white man and a black man. We're not the same, but we're so similar. We're humans still, and it's enough to not discriminate with each other and to not make irrational, to not say irrational things and to not relate irrational thoughts with those differences. Okay, we are kind of the same, and we all deserve respect and deserve not to be discriminated because of our race, of our sex, or in this case, beauty. So again, I think that it's natural, healthy, and positive to care for our looks. Not just sexually, which I think is the main reason for beauty, but also, like, for example, think about babies. They need to be cute because otherwise you wouldn't take care of something smelly that is pooping all day. It's the way nature works. Babies are cute. They have those big eyes, that small nose, everything. And they look cute to most people. You see a baby and you wanna hold them, and that's because they look cute to be taken care of, because they need that. They need you to take care of them. There has been studies that prove that nurses take care more of children of babies that look cute than babies that don't. This is not to judge people. You shouldn't go to those nurses and complain to them, because maybe they're not even conscious that they do this. It's a subconscious action. But it's definitely true. Babies look cute, and they have evolved. We have evolved to look cute as babies because it means that we're gonna take care better of those babies. So it's not just the sexual thing. I think the problem with society is dealing with sadness. That is the big social problem, really, not just beauty. We have to be able to feel sad without getting depressed. There should be no fight, no hiding from ugliness, no negation, just acceptance and trying to find solutions to make that thing, in this case, ugliness or disability or whatever thing that makes you sad. We should be able to find solutions, and if there aren't, just acceptance, because this is the main thing. You don't need to be beautiful. It's a good thing. I love beauty. I really admire beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful art, I don't know, whatever. But it's not a requirement. You don't need to be beautiful. And this is something that, even though it's rational and it may seem obvious, a lot of times it doesn't. When people get addicted, when people get that obsession with beauty, you completely forgot of this rational, true statement that you don't need to be beautiful. It's a cool thing, but it's not a requirement. So I think the healthy way to deal with beauty is with high goals but no expectations. I think this can be amplified to a lot of aspects through life. That is, if you have a high goal, even if you don't arrive to that, you're gonna get closer to that goal than if you put that if you didn't set that goal so high. But it's a goal, you don't need to get there. But remove any expectations, because if you don't get to an expectation, you're gonna feel disappointed and you're gonna feel bad with yourself, and you shouldn't. So I think the best way is to have the highest goal of beauty, to try to be to want to be as beautiful as you can. But if you don't arrive, don't have any expectations, so you won't feel disappointed. Because we're all gonna get old, and you don't know if you're gonna have an accident or something and you're gonna get uglier. Definitely we're all gonna get old and you're gonna get uglier with time. So it's hard to put a line on when does it become an obsession, but I think there are some really, that it shows in some aspects where people have an obsession. There are things that you really should avoid. Like, for example, for me, looking out of the mirror too quickly. When you look yourself in the mirror, I've done this a lot of times, other people haven't, other of my friends haven't done it. And it's when you look at yourself in the mirror and you look out too quickly. Like, you don't really want to look. You don't really want to look because you're afraid of what you're going to see. And maybe, you just woken up and you don't want to see your face. Maybe you're not dressed up. Maybe you don't want to see that for whatever reason. And you just, that when you look so quick out of the mirror, other people have told me, although I haven't experienced this as much, is that they look in the mirror and they have this obsession of looking in the opposite way. Instead of looking out too quickly, looking and focusing too much. Like, you want to make yourself look perfect and you're focusing on every aspect from your face. That is also bad. If you feel there's an obsession, this is so subjective, but you should feel okay and relaxed. Even though you try to be beautiful, you should feel okay if you don't. And especially, I think it's just the dread feeling, like everything is going down, like you're going to die somehow if you're not beautiful, or if you, like, it's gonna make you not to be able to talk, not be able to go to work, to meet people, to have your low, it's gonna make your self-esteem to go low. All of that is wrong, and all of that proves that you have a beauty obsession. You are obsessed with beauty in a really unhealthy way. And negation, especially with bald people, this is so common. Avoiding accepting that you're balding, or that your nose is too big, or that your teeth are crooked, or something like that. It's, or that you're too short. How many people are short that they don't want, or too tall? It's, negation is so bad. You should be able to accept it, to not hide yourself from it. Even if it's sad, you should be able to deal with it in a rational way. So the most important thing of this video is that we can be sad, but it shouldn't be that overwhelming. The worst case scenario, because even if you're a baby, as I said, it's a subconscious thing. People don't really take care less of a baby because it's ugly. So, even with babies, we're rational human beings already. Like, we're not, other animals that don't have the rational brains we have. So even if a baby is ugly, we're gonna take care of them. Maybe not of people, but rational people will do. And in the same way, we can apply this to us as adult people. The worst case scenario is that you want to have sexual relationships with, at least not with people that you would love to have. But should that sadden you? That, there are people that are going to be out of your league. If you have an accident, if you just grow old and you get uglier for whatever reason, maybe you should feel sad about that. You should feel sadder than if you could actually have sexual relationship with them. But should that make you want to die and be depressed? Absolutely fucking not. For example, I'm gonna give you the steps that I think that of how you should react if you have a really bad accident. For example, in my case, the thing that comes to my mind is to become toothless, or having a cancer and have scars through your head, or something like that. Something that is, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be horrible, but it means that you're gonna obviously be a little bit more ugly than if you had all your teeth and you didn't have the scar in your head and everything. So I think the first step, however ugly or beautiful you are, I think this is good to do. If you think that you look out of the mirror too quickly, if you feel like you have a little bit of beauty obsession, you should be able to do this. Because even if you're beautiful, there are people that are beautiful that suffer the same or even more than a person that is ugly. So it's all how you react to that. Because there are people that may be beautiful, and if you're ugly, you would say, oh my god, they have to feel great about it. No, because maybe they live in constant fear of losing that beauty, of growing old, of having an accident or something, and becoming ugly. So the steps are, first, to slow down, to look yourself in the mirror and slow down. Let that anxiety rush go down. A slow talk to yourself, like talk to yourself in a slow way. Second step, allow yourself to feel sad, because again, that means that you care. Even if you're ugly and you feel sad about it, it's not a bad thing really. It means that you care and you want to be pretty and you want to be beautiful, which is a natural thing to do. 3, rational thoughts. Do not blow things out of proportion. Talk to yourself with rational thoughts. Tell to yourself the real truth, that beauty is not that important, that the worst case scenario is that you want to have sexual relationships with people that you would like, or that you would most like. 4th step, stop worrying. And this is easy by questioning yourself and finding out what you can do about it. Saying, what can you do about it? If you can do something about it, like for example, go to the dentist and put the teeth, put it. Go and do it. If you can, if there's no cure for your ugliness, or you really can't do anything, or you don't have the money to go to the dentist, or you have to wait a month, if you really can't do anything, or anything that is rational is to do, just stop worrying, because worrying will do no good anyway. It would only hurt you and depress you and pull you farther down into that vicious maze of anxiety and depression. So stop worrying. And 5, once you talk to yourself rationally and you have removed worry and all of that, do something else. Get up, get it going, don't wallow in the mire, refuse to let those automatic negative thoughts take control. Ugliness is not that big of a deal, so just, avoid being depressed by doing stuff. There is a really powerful concept in psychology, which is the base of the modern psychology, that is, when you actually do something, your feelings follow along behind. If you wait around to feel good in order to do something, you'll be waiting around forever. So the way to overcome depression and a lot of stupid, irrational behaviors that we do is to do it. Is to, if you don't feel good talking to people because you think you're ugly, the more you talk, the better you will feel, because you're reacting against those automatic negative thoughts. So you can live, it's about living a productive life in spite of your ugliness. It's counterintuitive, but it's the way it is. And I made this video like a month ago. I didn't upload it because I don't have a lot of time, and the video, there was a lot of sound that I didn't control. There were a lot of things that didn't go well. I repeated myself talking a lot of times. I wanted to do a better video. I did this like a month ago, and I was gonna talk about I talked about what I am gonna talk now. That is Stephen Hawking. He was a role model to me, and I said that in video, but unfortunately in that period of time he died, and it's weird for me to talk about this now. But like I said in the previous video that isn't uploaded, he was a role model to me. I said he is, and now he was a role model to me, because he was one of the biggest role models in my life, and I still admire him, even though he's not with us anymore, because he's this video is about ugliness and beauty, which I think is important, but what he had was way worse. He wasn't ugly or anything. He was completely disabled physically. So that's so bad, and he inspired me so much because he showed me how a rational brain works. That obviously he wasn't denying. It's not like fat people that deny that being fat it's worse than being skinnier, or than being healthy and fit. It's a reality that most people like to have sexual relationships with a fitter guy than a fat guy. But Stephen Hawking didn't deny. I'm sure that he would obviously rather to have a healthy body and to have lived with a healthy body than in his condition. But because he couldn't help it, why are you gonna worry about that? So if you're ugly, if you're fat, you can change it somehow. You can just train, have a healthy diet, but there are things that you cannot change. To grow old, to have an accident, things like that. And if your genetics, if you're ugly, if you have a big nose, I don't know, just accept it and don't focus on that. Focus on things that your ugliness doesn't stop you from doing. And you know, in Stephen Hawking's case, there was a lot of things that he couldn't do. But in our case, ugliness, it's like I said, the worst case scenario is that you won't be able to have sexual relationships with the people that you most will love, most would want to have with. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, you have a lot of things. You have an open world of things to do. You know, so focus on other things. And I think that's the way. So he was a really inspiring model for me, a role model to me. And also, technology will improve. You know, it's like there are a lot of things that we can change right now, even if you're ugly. You know, like for example, when you lose your teeth, you can put them back by the dentist, and you won't even know the difference anymore in a few years. But even if technology doesn't improve, even if you have, even if your ugliness comes from something that it's not that technology cannot help you with, at least to do the steps that I said are so good, because at least you're gonna control that sudden rush of anxiety and dread, and your feelings will become more rational with time. So the final result is going to be better no matter what. Even if you're like the ugliest person on earth, it's gonna get better. Even if you're the ugliest person on earth, it's gonna get better definitely, because you're gonna become more rational. And the first day that you're so ugly, I mean, like if you have an accident, you become the ugliest person on earth. You're gonna feel bad, and it's natural that you feel sad, but you're gonna forget about it because you're not gonna care. You're gonna focus on things you can do, like Stephen Hawking did with physics. You know, so the final result is better no matter what. And I'm making this video because if people did what I say, we would just stay with the most positive side of being beautiful. People that are beautiful will feel amazing and wouldn't have that fear of losing it. And people that aren't wouldn't feel bad and will focus on other things. You know, it's I hate that when people have these weird concepts about beauty and they lie and they try to tell us that beauty doesn't exist, that it's in the eye of the beholder. It's not. Beauty is real. It's a reality. It may have a little bit of a subjective element, but really beauty, there are a lot of studies that prove that beauty is related to being healthy, to being fitter, to have better genetics. So yeah, beauty is real. It's a good thing. It's a natural thing. I hate that. I know people that try to make you blind with beauty are people that are trying to do something positive, but they're really not. They're doing something wrong. You should be able to see beauty. It's a beautiful thing, but just don't get overwhelmed about it. Don't expect to be beautiful no matter what. It's not a requirement. And I think this is my last phrase, because the video is already long enough, that you shouldn't feel sadder about being ugly than about the fact that the President of the United States denies that climate change is real in 2018. So do that. You know, whenever you figure out ugly or something, think about that. Think about all the world problems that there are. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't feel sadder about that or more depressed about your face than about that. You know, climate change is real. I know that there are people, kids dying every day because of, you know, the refugees and everything. You know, there are way more important things that you can help no matter how ugly, how beautiful you are. So focus on those things. Focus on working, on things you can do. Focus on beauty if you want. You know, like try to be beautiful. Try to, you know, to be the best that you can. But remove that expectation, that depression, that obsession with beauty. And the world will be better, and I mean you will be better. You will feel more at peace with yourself, and the world and society by consequence will be better. So that's everything for today. I don't know what the next videos are going to be about. I have a lot of ideas. I just don't have enough time with college. I hope you like this video. I think this is good, or I hope that this helps people with anorexia, with bigorexia, which I hate. People that, especially men that try to get fit. Not fit in a really bad way, with protein shakes and whatever. I've met a lot of people with beauty obsession, me myself included. I've felt so horrible and so bad, and wasted a lot of time, procrastinated a lot, feeling bad about myself. You know, it's like, I think it's a natural thing, but like everything, you know, we have to improve it. We have to, you know, to try to take the positive side of beauty and remove the bad side, at least diminish it, you know. Be smart, be rational. Yeah, so see you in the next video.